Welcome to part 8 of how to play the flute. We're on page 6 in Accent on Achievement. At this point, we've figured out how to make a sound, and we figured out how to read a fingering chart. Those two things are really important. We've learned a bunch of other stuff too. If there's anything that you're not understanding in those previous videos, go back and review them. Because going forward at this point isn't going to help you if you can't do the things we've already done. If you are pretty solid on that, then let's move on a little bit. Exercise number 5 on page 6 is called Up and Down, because we're going to use all 3 notes that we've learned so far in one exercise. So let's just quickly review those 3 notes. You have your D, which is going to be your thumb, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's your D. Then your E flat, which is thumb, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky. Okay? And then you have your F, which is thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, and pinky. Okay, so you have those 3 notes. And I just use kind of a shorthand to describe it. Each of those are listed in your book on your fingering chart. And so sometimes I'll say that. I always start with the left hand and then go down. So for example, your D, thumb, 2, 3 refers to your left hand, and then I start over with numbers. 1, 2, 3 is your right hand. Okay? So that'll hopefully help you as we go forward. If you ask a fingering, we can say, oh, the D, thumb, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? That'll help you. F, thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, and pinky. Okay? So that way you can follow along and quickly share fingerings with your neighbors in band if you're asking each other how to play certain notes, and I can share with you really quickly how to play those notes. So number 5 starts with the D, then there's a whole rest, goes to the E flat, another whole rest, then the F, and then it goes back down. Whole rest, E flat, whole rest, D. So we're going to start with the D first. Okay, here's number 5. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. You heard one note in there, didn't sound very great for me. If I was learning the flute, I would want to go back and redo that. Okay, now we're going to go on to exercise number 6, and this introduces something that we haven't yet done, and that's playing 2 notes in a row that don't have a rest in between them. So we've talked about how to play the first note. We always start like this, right? So now the trick is you just do that again to play the next note. So in this case, they're 4 counts each, so you would go. Okay, now you don't breathe and you don't stop it. Kind of think of it as you're outside in the summer and you have your hose is coming up this way, and the water's flowing out. It's turned on all the way, and the water's flowing out. And you take your hand and you go in between that water. Psh, psh, psh. Now that's going to create these little bits, but the water never stopped. And that's kind of how it goes with the flute. As you're playing on this note, number 6 starts on an F. And as you're playing these 2 notes, you're going to go. Okay, so I never stop blowing air. So something you might want to practice would be just go. Even, without the flute too, just like I'm doing. And then you can do longer ones. And then even longer ones. that's how you play number 6. You have 2 Fs, then you have a whole rest, then you have 2 E flats, then a whole rest, then 2 Ds and a whole rest. And you make sure you're memorizing where those are at on the staff so that as you look at them, you know what they are. Don't write in the note names or anything. You just got to memorize them. They're written right at the top of your page on page 6. So if you forget, just look there and then go back to it. So let's play number 6. Here we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Here we go. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3. Okay, now if you're running out of air too fast, you might be blowing too much air out of your mouth. You might have your mouth open too much and having too much air. So maybe make the amount of air smaller. Maybe not the amount of air smaller, but the hole smaller. Okay? So if you're going like this, you're playing the note. Got my finger in the right spot. And you're running out of air, right? Then make that hole smaller, or your mouth smaller. Get these corners tight. Make this face, and make it smaller. Mouth, smaller mouth. So you can hold that out for as long as you need to. Okay. Now, going on to page 7, we learn just a couple new things before I kind of turn you loose. Number 8 is doing 2 notes in a row, but they're different notes. Kind of like we did on number 6, but now there's different notes. So it starts on a D. And it changes fingerings to the next note. So the way you do that is when you go for the next note, the exact same time, you change your fingering. Okay? Try that again. Let's do all of number 8. 1, 2, ready, go. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you notice there on the second set, I totally messed up my fingerings. And when you do that, it doesn't sound right. So I would want to go back and practice that and fix that. Again, I'm not a flute player. I'm just kind of demonstrating a little bit so that you know how that works. So that's really important. And then number 9 talks about some important stuff. We'll talk about that too in class, that breath mark. But we're just going to go on to number 10 because there's quarter notes. And quarter notes get 1 beat. We've done a whole note that gets 4 beats. Now we're doing quarter notes that get 1 beat. And it starts on the D, and it sounds like this. Now we've kind of already done some of that because we went, and we went, and then we did it longer and stuff. So it's the same thing, you're just doing it 1 beat. So remember our tempo, what we kind of talked about, our beats? So you're going to go ta, 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 just like I did, okay? Rest, 2, 3, 4. Cool. On that third measure that I just played, it has an E flat. We haven't talked about that flat sign. That little sign that looks like a B in front of the E, it is called the flat. And it makes your E from E natural to E flat. Okay, and every time we've had it before, you've had that little B or the little flat sign in front of it. Okay? And then on number 10, it says, it has it on the first note, and the second note, it doesn't have it. But notice that it says above there, also E flat with an arrow pointing to that note. So in a measure, when you have an accidental, which is a flat, a sharp, or a natural, in front of a note, it means all of the notes in that measure are also that way, unless they put another accidental in front of it. And then the bar line would actually cancel that out. So the next measure, if they wanted to do another E flat, they'd have to put the flat in front of it again. Okay? So from now on, if it has a flat in the measure, it means all of those notes are that way. So you have F, or D, E flat, F. Okay? So practice those quarter notes, practice number 10, and then you can keep going on. And for learning how to play the flute, these video series, this is going to be the last video, because at this point I want you to continue going on. I may make videos for our class, for everybody, and I'll go on and exercises, and we'll just kind of do it together, or we'll be in class and we'll just be doing it that way. So if you're struggling at any point, go back to the beginning of this series and watch these videos again and play along with them, and refresh a little bit, and then you should be able to catch up where we're at if you're ever having any of those struggles. Also, of course, ask questions and let me help you out that way. So hopefully this was helpful, and I hope that you're learning and growing and playing. The biggest key is to keep playing. Just keep playing. Play every day. Practice every day, and you're going to get it. So here's to a great year, and we'll catch you next time.